Welcome back to another episode of NaytonTech. It's been a while. I actually got married about a month ago and I finally kind of get back into the swing of things. So we got a couple of big things we're going to talk about now. The first thing I'm most excited about, I picked up a Pixel 2 XL. I love this phone. We're going to get into a couple of things on it. First off, I kind of want to talk about the big hype things you've been hearing about. Main thing is the blue tint on the screen. Now from my reading, I found out that this is actually for polarization. So if you're wearing polarized glasses or sunglasses, it helps to where you're not just seeing a black screen whenever you're wearing them. It is a circular polarization, so depending on which way you're holding the phone, you will notice some blue tint. I honestly, mine must not be that bad because I don't notice very much of it. I mean, if I do tilt it a little bit this way, you know, I do notice some of the blue, but it's mainly when I've got a bright color like white. I don't really do like, you know, yellows, things like that. They're on the phone when it's on the screen. But if you're darker color, you know, like your browns, you know, obviously blue, you're not going to notice too much of a shift. Things like that, you don't notice it too much. But you have to, I have to get it almost flat when I'm looking at it straight on. So as far as the blue tint goes, it's there for a reason. You do notice, you know, I've seen other videos where other manufacturers, they've got either a blue tint, it switches to a little bit of yellow, depending if you're looking at it side to side. It's just the way screens are. They're not designed to have a full view on them. TVs are a little different. They don't have to worry about polarization. Screen burn-in is another thing that a lot of people have been talking about. I haven't noticed any on my phone yet. I've had it for 2 to 3 weeks, normal use. Haven't noticed any yet, so may have just been an initial run. We'll see how stuff goes. The color palette, a lot of people talk that this phone, since it's an LED phone, or the screen is LED, that it looks a little muted. To me, to my eyes, I think it's a very natural color, like what Google designed it for. I don't need to have everything super bright, oversaturated or anything like that. So for me, I haven't noticed, or I haven't disliked, I would be the best word to use, disliked the color palette that they've chosen. It's very natural, feels more like just a normal LCD screen that you're looking at, which is what I look at all day, so that's kind of what I prefer. A lot of people don't like the headphone jack, or the no headphone jack. You'll notice on this there are no headphone jack, top and bottom. You're supposed to use what's included, a USB-C to headphone jack adapter that comes with it. For me personally, this isn't a big issue. All of my headphones are already Bluetooth, so I have a set of like Aftershok's Blues 2, which are the bone conductive headphones. I have a set of the LG headphones, the wrap around your neck ones that have the little earbuds that magnetically pop out and pop into your ear. Both of those are Bluetooth. So to me, I didn't use the headphone jack on my Nexus 6 when I upgraded to this. So that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I'm not big at audiophile stuff as far as my phone and headphones go. Like my car and stuff, that's a little bit of a different story, but as far as my phone goes, not a deal breaker. So also I went ahead and ordered a set of Pixel Buds, so we'll see how those go. I'll definitely be doing a review on those. Kind of get a lot of mixed feelings from some of the other reviews of people that have got them before me. So we'll see how they do. So now to the pros of this phone. I love the screen. It's extremely fast, it's responsive. I prefer the color palette. I think it feels more natural when I'm taking pictures, things like that. They just don't seem too super bright. The screen itself is bright enough where I'm using it out in the sunlight. I can see everything I'm needing to. So the screen, I like it. Like I said, unless we start having some burn-in issues or whatever over time, kind of a common thing with LED, but it shouldn't happen, you know, for a couple years at least. My watch is an LED, has an LED screen on it, and it has some burn-in on it because the screen's always on. But that's after 2.5 years of use. So great processor in this thing. It is jumping from my Nexus 6. It's no-brainer. I mean, the thing's insanely fast. It keeps up with about everything I want to do on the phone, switching apps, opening new ones, whatnot. It's a huge difference. So to me, I think the processor and the graphics processor, things like that they put in this are great. At least, best you can get it for right now. Let's see, battery life. Battery life on this is amazing. I can actually go about 2 days on a full charge. And I do IT work, so I'm on my phone, I'm checking messages, I'm responding to emails, all that kind of stuff throughout the day. And I can usually get about 2 days of normal use out of this phone. So if I forget to plug it in, I'm usually pretty good. And it's got the quick charge in it too. If I need a little bit more, I'd plug it in for 15-20 minutes and I'm good to go for a while. So I think they got the right size battery, possibly even bigger than what you would need for a normal day. So this phone should definitely last me a while. Let's see, the case that I picked up, I went ahead and got the fabric case from from Google. I got I don't know if it actually has the color on it. Anyway, I got the black one. I like the color. I like the feel of it. It kind of feels kind of a denim feel to it. The buttons feel amazing. Just the right size cutout here. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So just the right size cutout here to get your finger in. It really helps you line it up. And then great opening for the camera, doesn't interfere, anything like, the bottom is a little more open than I kind of expected, but it makes it really easy to get my USB-C port in there, which I love. This is my first USB-C device, and I'm loving it a lot more than the micro USB. Camera on the front here does pretty good. Not quite as good as the back one, but it still takes some pretty good pictures as far as, selfies and things like that go. The only thing I have noticed with this case, there are times where people have complained that it does feel a little slippery, and yeah, it doesn't have, your grippy rubber feel. Google would have been nice when they put, a couple little ridges on here of the same little rubber material that they did this G in, would have added a lot of grip to it. I haven't noticed, I haven't dropped it or anything with this case on it. The case does overlap just a hair over the screen. Let's see if I can get this in. It does have just a little bit of a lip, so if you do set it down face first, it's not going to go right on the screen. It's very lightweight, very smooth. I haven't noticed any, wear and tear on it from normal everyday use. Was kind of a worry of mine. On the corners and stuff, like where you're always grabbing it, if it's going to wear out, you'll notice some wear on it, like, your jeans or whatnot. I do notice the way that it does, and I had a couple other people that have noticed this as well, but right here along the edge, you do get some pocket lint and stuff like that in there from your pocket, pulling it in and out and whatnot. It kind of catches in that little lip, but all in all, I like the case. It's definitely unique. You don't find a lot of fabric cases in the market, so it's kind of unique. A couple things that come in the case, I kind of go over that real quick. We do have the USB-C dongle for your headphone. I haven't even used this yet because none of my headphones have normal 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on them. It does come with the USB-C to normal USB, I think is type A adapter. So this will work if you wanted to plug. They sent this to do a data transfer if you're moving from another phone, but you can also use this as a OTG cable if you want to plug in a mouse, a keyboard, flash drive, things like that. It does work for that as well. Also got your SIM card removal tool. Your quick charger. If I remember correctly, this one, see if I can remember what the wattage was on it. It doesn't say, I can't remember. I'd have to look that one up, but it does come with USB-C. It is USB-C on both sides. I went ahead and ordered a couple extra cables because I don't have any USB-C cables. So just so I have a couple extras. You get a manual in the case, which I haven't even looked at. That's pretty much it that comes in in the box. The boxes on these are actually kind of nice. They actually have some weight to them. Pretty hefty, sturdy little boxes. This will actually go up on my shelf back here with all my parts and stuff on it. I'll have to show you guys a picture of that. You can kind of see a little bit of it right up here. These are all my computer parts, just the fancy boxes and stuff that they came in, just kind of for show. On the fingerprint scanner, which is the next thing I wanted to talk about, it is actually very fast. I do find myself moving my finger a little bit when I do touch it, pulling out my pocket or whatnot. Sometimes it won't read on those times because my finger moved. This is my first phone with a fingerprint reader, which is one of the things I need for work because we're using Intune, and I either have to have a PIN, a password, or I can use fingerprint. On my Nexus 6, since it didn't have a fingerprint reader, I was punching them in PIN all the time. Got annoying. So with fingerprint, it's automatically unlocks all the time. I'm actually going to set this so that it doesn't. Your notification bar, if you swipe down, I've got mine. It's an option you can turn on. So if you swipe down on your fingerprint reader, see if I can kind of get it. You can program it so that it brings down your notification bar with the fingerprint. It's kind of nice, more of a feature than anything else. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see this. I do have the active desktop on. I have a lot of stuff turned on this phone, and I'm still getting 2 days of battery life out of it. So I have the active desktop. You can see the water here on the shore. It actually, if you turn, I don't know if you can see this. So as you rotate the phone, it kind of changes your view. Like when you're looking down at this beach, it kind of adjusts the view a little bit. There's a little bit of a movement, just kind of an added thing. Let's see, what else we want. So the front-facing speakers, I love these. That's another reason why I got this phone. My Nexus 6 had front-facing speakers. I loved it because when I'm watching movies, I hated, having to put my hands on the side or around the back or whatnot to kind of get the sound to come around. The front-facing speakers that I have on this one and my Nexus 6, both are great sounding for the size that they are. I'm not saying that they're, high-end Bose or anything like that, but for your normal everyday listening when you're out and about, in your office, in the car or whatever, they are, loud enough to where you can hear what is going on in a movie, YouTube video, whatever. So it's a great feature. I don't know why a lot of other manufacturers don't do it, because having speakers come out the bottom, the top, or the back, it's not where you want the sound to come from. So it's one of the things I love about this Pixel device and my Nexus 6 when I had it. Sound quality of the phone calls, I noticed a big difference just jumping from my Nexus 6 to this. Seemed to be a lot clearer. I don't think I've had any dropped calls since I swapped to it. I don't know if it's just me, placebo effect, new phone, not noticing any issues. But I did notice a sound quality difference. Things seem a little bit clearer, things like that. And the camera and the video, excuse me, the camera on this is, to me, almost everything that Google has said it is. I've taken some video with the family. We were out on some sand dunes, riding some sleds down the sand dunes. Great picture, just the clarity and stuff is amazing on it, on the back camera. Photos are great. I noticed a lot more, the colors seem a little bit more natural, even when something's in a shadow, or like I had a picture where my daughter was under a tree, so part of her had a shadow on, part of her didn't. The difference the difference in how dark and the lights was a lot closer, so it feels more natural, that like what you would see with your eye, than having these super darks and super lights. So they really adjust that contrast so that you can see everything in the picture like you would with your naked eye. Then in normal camera, you've always got those dark spots or those light spots, unless you are really good at photography and get everything set up perfect. So I really think the AI that they did in the back end of the phone, or sorry, the camera, it is working. It's something that they can improve on. So this camera is going to get better as they add, get better with their AI and more programming and whatnot. This camera is going to get better. And that's the way they're designed it, at least the way I interpreted it. They designed it so that the camera can get better, the phone can get better. A lot of these features that they're adding in can get better over time because there's the AI and this that they're running on the servers in the back end can be upgraded. So I like a lot of that, knowing that this phone is going to get, well, updates for the next 3 years, but it's something that Google can work on and make better without having to change the hardware out all the time. So now that we've talked a lot about the pro stuff, I'm going to kind of touch on the con stuff again, which we've already talked about, the blue tint. I don't mind it too much, and I'm actually going to put a link to a video. There's a guy that has a lens for his camera, and it's a polarized lens, and it's a one-way polarization. So as he turns it, you can see where the polarization changes. So he has I think an original Pixel, the Pixel 2 XL, and I can't remember the other phone that he had in the thing. But anyway, he moves the lens over it and around, and you can see how the polarization on the different phones does make a difference, and how you can see, the things on this phone screen without, or with a polarized lens on your glasses or your camera or whatnot. And that's what the polarization is for. That's why you see a little bit of blue tint when you change it one angle to another or whatnot. But looking straight on and even a little bit of an angle each way, I don't notice it. I have to kind of get it a little bit of an extreme angle to notice it. Well, that is my review of the Google Pixel 2 XL with the fabric case on it. Like I said, I give this phone high marks. I would probably say 4, 4.5. It meets all of my expectations, all of my needs that I use it on a day-to-day basis for. So stay tuned. We've got a couple more things coming up. I did pick up the Pixel book, which I will be reviewing. I did order a set of Pixel Buds, and I have a Google Home Mini that are coming in sometime here in the next couple weeks. So as soon as those get in, I will definitely be doing reviews on those. Until next time, see you then.